All right. What's up, everybody? Let us look around Hugging Face, see what there is to see. One of the searches I love to start with is just GGUF. You know, what is going on? What is the most recently updated? Hmm. Is that really IBM? Hmm? What is the most recent GGUF NVFP4? Hmm. What is trending? Hmm. So I'll admit I've been looking at this Ornith 1.0 for a little bit. So I can tell straight off the bat this is the mixture of experts. There's a few interesting things going on here for specifically um, this architecture of NVIDIA cards. These are the 5000 series and also data center card. Oh, no, excuse me, the Sparks, whatever. Um, is that right? Anyway, so this is a hardware accelerated hack, I suppose, to get closer to approach higher precision using 4 bits of precision. MXFP, NVFP, what these are like 4 bits for floating points. Um, I looked here for NVFP. Well, that's a specific pipeline that NVIDIA has provided for um, essentially quantization that can be accelerated at the hardware level. So I've been specifically looking for the keyword NVFP4. Um, Another thing that I look for in particular is MTP, multi token prediction. So this means that the model includes an extra layer. I wonder if we can expand this and see it. There's going to be an extra layer down here for it's the MTP layer. I don't know. I mean, it may be. I mean, it could be this one. Mm, it's not leaping out to me immediately, but essentially what it is an additional layer in the model that is going to not only predict the next token but subsequent tokens, and it requires more computation, but usually it results in a benefit that goes faster. So MTP is cool. NVFP is very interesting for the latest generation of NVIDIA cards. I've definitely, uh, well, I've seen improvements, at least in some of the metrics. I can't remember right now whether prompt processing or token generation benefits more, but Ornith, by the way, this model in the first place is a fine tune of Quen 3.6. Wait, perhaps 3.5. The mixture of experts model. So, and yeah, they show. No, it has to be Qwen 3.6. But they show improvements, really, really cool improvements um, from a fine tuning. Now, one thing that I've been thinking about recently ish with Qwen 3.6 is its inflexibility when it comes to fine tuning. I think that a lot of the quality that we see in Qwen 3.6, like specifically the 27B, I think that quality largely comes from the fine tuning itself, which I think crowds out the capacity for subsequent fine tuning. So for Ornith 1.0 to accomplish something on top of Qwen is pretty cool to start. But I think a lot of the efficiency, a lot of the, sort of agentic paradigms are already trained into Qwen 3.6. So, what I can say is that other researchers have had more difficulty fine tuning Qwen 3.6. And so this is actually, it's pretty interesting. I've seen criticisms that it's just bench maxing, meaning the data set has become contaminated with the testing code. Okay. Really like this one, the Michael W9999. Not gonna dig in on that right now because I've looked at it a lot. Now, one thing that's kind of nice about this, not a ton of attention, but it's so small. This okay, so again, it's it's kind of tailored for this Blackwell architecture. Typically, it provides better performance, closer to well, whatever. Anyway, so one of the things that's kind of neat, like if this 4 billion parameter model, so to the best of my knowledge, there is no Qwen 3.6 4 billion, but if you can get this model to follow your instructions, it's insanely fast. Part of the thing that's interesting about NVFP4 compared with, like, let's say, like, Qwen 3.5 4B GGUF, let's just do the unsloth, because then they've produced a million different quants over here. So the NVFP4 is going to be in this 4-bit range. 2 points, yeah, okay, it's within the range of like 3 gigs to 2.5 gigs. So that is what the NVFP4 is comparable to. And there's a nice graph that is frequently presented that shows a drop off of perplexity as the quantization level drops. So this is the crux of it. The unsloth quants that I just clicked over to, they are these they're integer quants. They have 0, 1, 2, 3 levels Whereas NVFP4, it's these floating point numbers. It's the same number of bits of precision, um, but it is. I mean, look, yeah, here it is. Like this idea of dynamic range. Essentially, the highs can be higher when you have 240 um, units of range in your domain, and the performance is better. That's the bottom line. When you're comparing, yeah, these 4 bits for floating points versus 4 bits for integers, and there's extra trickery in here because information-wise they're equivalent. Um, um, there is definitely extra trickery to actually implement the pipeline, but um, if you're able to make a model like this follow your instructions, then one of the things that's going to unlock is lots of parallel runners. You're going to be able to execute lots of things in parallel. I don't know. Let's look at Eagle 3. See what we get. Let's look at DFlash. Okay. So these are methods for accelerating token generation using an approach called DFlash. I've recognized this user for creating a project called BLlama, and one of the things that they brought early was DFlash support. So this is essentially a replacement for MTP. It uses a diffusion model, which is completely different from a transformer architecture, to generate tokens, which it then tests against the actual transformer model, and then accepts them if they match. So it's perfect. It's really good. It's about equivalent, I think, to the other 2 speculative methods that are a thing these days, which are Eagle 3 and MTP. Well, all right. Let's just look for GLM. So obliterated, this will be a GLM that ostensibly would refuse less. This is much older GLM. Let's do 5.2. So a REAP is going to remove some of the experts, and the reason that you would do that is because you don't have enough RAM. So, but a consequence of that is that, well, some of the precision of the answer is lost. The model doesn't appear to be as smart. These sizes, however, 211 gigs, too much. I am limited to something closer to 192 gigs. So this is just kind of a nice calibration point. You know, if you get down, if you're quantizing to less than 3 bits, you still need 211 gigs of weights. Cool. I wonder just about Flash. What do we have? So this one really packs down. They didn't do the NVFP thing. This is a slightly older model, 5 months ago. MXFP4 is in the ballpark. However, the Perplexity isn't optimal. Even if there is some kind of hardware acceleration, maybe it's not really worth it in the balance. However, a lot of people really like GLM 4.7 Flash or Air. Yeah, whatever. That's interesting. Maybe maybe that's all that there is to see right now on this Tuesday, the 30th of June, 2026. Wow. All right.